My best friend's parents are suing me for custody of her daughter. My best friend Lauren made me promise that if anything ever happened to her, I would raise her daughter Delilah as my own. We signed the paperwork when Delilah was born because Lauren's parents had cut her off for getting pregnant at 19, and she knew they would never be part of her daughter's life. 8 years later, Lauren got sick, and 3 months after that, I was planning her funeral, while Delilah held my hand and asked if her mom could see the flowers we picked out. Lauren's parents didn't come to the service and didn't call to check on their granddaughter, but 2 weeks later, I got a letter from their attorney saying they were contesting the will and seeking full custody. My lawyer explained that blood relatives can always contest, especially when there's money involved, and that's when I found out Lauren's life insurance, and the house added up to almost $400,000. The first hearing was a disaster because their lawyer looked like he charged more per hour than I made in a week, and mine was a family friend who kept flipping through notes like he was cramming for a test. Lauren's mother took the stand and dabbed at her eyes with a tissue while saying, "I have always regretted the estrangement, and I want nothing more than to welcome my granddaughter into our home where she belongs." Their lawyer turned to me and asked, "How many bedrooms does your apartment have?" And when I said 1, he asked, "And where exactly does the child sleep?" I explained that she had been sleeping in my bed since her mother died because she was scared to be alone, and he looked at the judge like I had just confessed to something inappropriate. After the hearing, I found Lauren's father in the hallway crouched down talking to Delilah, who was sitting on a bench with her backpack in her lap. He was asking her what her favorite foods were, and if she wanted to come see their big house with the swimming pool, and Delilah looked up at him and asked, "Are you the grandpa who never came to any of my birthday parties?" I watched his fake smile crack right down the middle before he stood up and walked away without answering. In the parking garage, I overheard Lauren's mother telling their lawyer, "The child seems difficult, but nothing a good boarding school can't fix once we get control of the assets." The lawyer laughed and said, "Children are always difficult when they've been poisoned against their real family by outsiders." I grabbed Delilah's hand and walked faster toward our car before I did something that would hurt our case. The second hearing went worse because their lawyer produced bank statements showing that I had used Lauren's credit card twice after she died, and even though it was to buy groceries for Delilah, he made it sound like I was stealing from a dead woman. Lauren's mother testified that she had tried for years to reconnect with her daughter, and when my lawyer asked why she didn't attend the funeral, she said, "I was too overcome with grief to travel." Delilah squeezed my hand so hard during that lie that I thought she might break my fingers. During a break, Lauren's mother walked over to where Delilah was sitting and said, "You know, sweetie, your grandfather and I have a beautiful guest room all ready for you with brand new toys." And Delilah looked up at her and asked, "What's my favorite color?" Lauren's mother blinked and said, "Pink. I'm sure it's pink. All little girls love pink." And Delilah said, "It's purple. It's been purple my whole life, and she knows that," while pointing directly at me. The judge scheduled a final hearing and said she wanted to speak with Delilah directly to determine what arrangement would be in the child's best interest. That night, Delilah couldn't sleep, so we stayed up watching her favorite movie. And out of nowhere, she asked, "Why do those people want me when they never wanted my mom?" I didn't know what to say, so I just held her and promised that I would never let anyone take her away from where she belonged. She was quiet for a long time before she whispered, "I heard the grandmother say something about boarding school and assets. What does assets mean?" I realized then that Delilah had been paying attention to everything these past few weeks, catching every conversation she wasn't supposed to hear, and understanding far more than any 8-year-old should have to understand. The judge asked Delilah directly who she wanted to live with, and Lauren's mother immediately started sobbing and saying, "Blood is thicker than water. The poor child is just confused. She belongs with her real family." The judge told her to be quiet and asked Delilah again, and my goddaughter looked at the 2 strangers trying to claim her and said, "She keeps calling me the child, but my name is Delilah, and she doesn't even know that." Her voice got smaller and she said, "They didn't come to my mom's funeral, and they didn't come to my birthdays, and they want to send me away to a school so they don't have to see me. My mom never wanted me to go away. My mom wanted me close forever." Lauren's parents didn't say a word to Delilah on their way out of that courtroom. I knelt down, and Delilah threw her arms around my neck, whispering, "My mom made the right choice, and I promised her she would never feel like someone's problem ever again."